Hey everyone, Mr. Montgomery again. Today we're going to be reading our first story in our new, not unit, but it's a new week where we kind of go into a different question, different story. And the big question we're going to be asking ourselves this week is, where do animals live together? And we kind of learned already that they live in something called a habitat. And a habitat changes based on the weather, what kind of plants there are there mountains? Is it in the water? These are all different kinds of habitats. So we're going to read a really cool story about animals, their different living places, and we're going to do some reading missions along the way. So let's make sure we're on page 69, 69, and you should see a picture of a bunny, a bird, and a deer. If you're not on that page yet, pause the video by hitting the spacebar, get to that page. If you need help, ask one of your friends to help you out. Make sure it's one of the leaders we got. Okay? If you're not too sure which one that is, look at the back board and look for the little mushroom crayon stickers. Alright? But if it's still rolling, I'm guessing you're all ready to go. Let's check out this new story. So, the title is called The Best Spot. So, do you think there's going to be a best spot for every animal? Or for any animal? What do you think? Do you think that one spot is better than every single other spot for a deer, for a polar bear, for a fox? Well, let's find out. Alright, so we're going to the next page. We're on page 70. So what we're going to do first is, let's read. And if you want to echo along with me, that's fine, but make sure that you do a whisper echo. Alright, so that way we don't accidentally disrupt anyone else in the room. So a whisper echo will sound like this when you're echoing with me. Okay? So just a whisper. This is a forest. This spot has lots of animals. Deer live here. They eat plants. But who is in the grass? A rabbit's head pops up. Ooh. So we just learned about two different animals that live in the forest. And we actually see them all the time in New Jersey. You guys probably see them all the time. Well, at least one of them in your backyard. So let's check out what our first reading mission is. It says underline and read aloud the words of, eat, and who. So remember, when we're underlining, this is all it's going to look like. That's it. Just a little line underneath the word. Nothing extra. So find these three words of, eat, and who. And they are on these two pages. And I'll tell you what, the first two are on the first page. Give you a little hint, okay? And then that last one, who, that's on the second page here. Now, if you need more time, pause the video for a quick second, but don't take too long. You know, try to work a little fast, but not too fast. Alright, so let's see if you found the correct words. First word was of. See, this is a forest. This spot has lots of. It's right there. So I'm going to underline the word of. Deer live here. They eat plants. And there's that word eat. Just underlining. Nothing else. But who is in the grass? And there's that last word. Last word's who. So there we go. We have of, eat, and who. Now here's a special challenge question for you. And if you guys are able to do this on your own, maybe I'll give out some classroom cash. Alright? It says circle the text. That means a group of words. It could be a whole sentence. Right? So circle the text that tells what deer eat. So we're looking for what deer eat. Here's a hint. The word eat is in it. Alright? So I want you to circle that whole sentence. Find the sentence that tells what deers eat. Alright, so I don't want to give too much time here. But if you need more time, you can always hit the spacebar, pause the video. Alright? But if more than 30 seconds goes by and you're still not sure, you can just skip it. Alright? But I don't want to give out the answer because I am making this into a fun little contest. Alright, so let's go to the next page. Alright, so let's read about, looks like we're going to read about some birds. And what other animal over here? That could be a few different kind of insects. We'll have to read to find out. But I want you to make a fun guess. Do you think it's going to be bumblebees, hornets, wasps? Are they going to be some sort of special insect? Let's find out. So we're on page 72 now. Let's read the first page. What is up there? Where? Up where? Where do you think they're talking about? Ah, they're talking about these trees. What's up there? Look up, up, up. It is a nest. The mom gets big bugs. Yum. Ugh, yum. I don't know about that. But why do you think the mom gets big bugs? Why is that? If you're not sure, maybe use the picture to help you out. Because they need to feed their babies. They need big bugs, so one, they can feed their babies. Two, if they're really tiny bugs, that means they need a lot more bugs to feed all their little baby hatchlings, right? So let's find out what these insects are finally. I'm dying to know what these are. What is on the trunk? Wait a minute, what is a trunk? Do you guys know? Ah, I thought that might be a little bit of a tricky word. So let me see if I can draw it out for you. So right here, I'm going to draw something, see if you can guess what it is. And let's see here. So what did I just draw? That's a tree, right? Nothing crazy, but it's important for us to know what part of the tree is the trunk. And it's going to be this part down here. This piece that's holding up all those awesome leaves I would like to see during the fall and the spring, when they're changing and growing, all that cool stuff. This part holding all that up is what we call the trunk. Alright? So let's continue with our story. What is on the trunk? It is a nest, too. Lots of wasps live in it. So now we know what kind of insect it is. They're wasps. Oh, man. I don't know about you, but I'm not a big fan of wasps. They can hurt. Okay, so let's see if we can do a reading mission. And we're going to be circling. Remember, just circling the word with the same ending sound as sunk. What word has the same end sound as the word sunk? Now I'm going to break it apart. I want you to listen. Ready? S-unk. Sunk. And I will give you one hint. That word is on the second page. So on this page here with the wasps, what word has the same ending sound as sunk? So I'll give you about 5 to 10 seconds. I want you to circle what word you think has the ending sound. Alright, let's see how close you were or if you got it right. So let's look at the word sunk. It ends with the letters U-N-K. That's what's making that ending sound unk. So let's read to see if we can find it. What is on the trunk? It is a nest too. Lots of wasps live in it. You know, I think I heard at the beginning. What is on the trunk? That's what it was. And you can see it has the same ending sounds. It ends in a U-N-K. And so does sunk. It has that U-N-K sound. Alright, cool. We found it. So let's go ahead over to the next page. Ooh, what animal are we learning about this time? That's right. You see it in the picture. We're learning about ants, but I'm really curious to know if they tell us what kind of ant we're learning about. Are they going to be fire ants, black ants, bullet ants? There's so many different kinds of ants, and each one, well, sometimes they can bite. Like fire ants, you don't want to mess with them. They can hurt. Bullet ants, they hurt even worse. So believe it or not, some ants you really don't want to mess with. They can hurt you, so be careful. All right, so let's read these pages together with a whisper echo. Ants live here too. Ants pick up twigs and grass. Ants zip in and out. Ants have no rest. Ants dig under sand and grass. And up here, they show you a really cool picture of an ant farm in its natural habitat. That means wherever they're making their home, wherever they decide to, we call that a natural habitat, right? We didn't bring them into our house and just give them a pile of dirt in our room and say, hey, make your own house now. That would not be a natural habitat. But let's see what our reading mission is for these 2 pages. It says, underline and read aloud the words no and under. So remember, we're going to be underlining. Underline the word no and under. And there's one word on each page here. So I'll give you guys a little bit to try to find them. See how you do. Alright, did you find it? Alright, well, if you think you did, let's double check your work, make sure that you absolutely did. So let's see if we can find the word no and under. Ants live here too. Ants pick up twigs and grass. Ants zip in and out. Ants have no rest. Ooh, no, right there. There it is. So we just underline it and that's it. Ants dig under sand and grass. Oh, we just found the other one. Under. There it is. And just an underline, nothing crazy. Okay, our second reading mission. Circle the words with the same ending sounds as land. So remember, we're going to circle. And this is the word that we're looking for right here. Land. Well, not looking for it, but it's going to have the same ending sound, so it might have some of the same letters. So let's tap it. Ready? I'm going to separate the sounds. And. And if you remember our Wilsons, it has the and sound in it. A-N. So try to find the word that has the same ending sound as land. And I'll give you a hint. It might be on the second page. It might be there. Check it. Psst, check it. Alright, how'd you do? Do you think you found it? Let's check. It's definitely on the second page, I think. Ants dig under sand and grass. Ah, sand, it has the and sound. So, let's make sure we circle it. And that and is actually part of the ending sound. A-N-D, and then A-N-D, and. I was just pointing out the and, because 1, we're familiar with it, and 2, it was a hint that was definitely going to be in that word. And it is. All right, so let's turn the page. Ooh, got another part, another little set of reading missions. Just wait for us. Okay, so let's read about. Oh, I love foxes. They are one of the coolest animals. True story. I actually fed a fox once. It approached me on a beach, and I fed it a Twizzler. But I do not recommend feeding foxes because they are wild animals. All right, let's read about foxes and skunks. Fox kits hop on a stump. So a kit, that is a special word for a cub. Like we've heard the word cub or pup, right? For other animals, they call their babies kits. Mom fox lets the kits run and jump. The kits must eat. Dad fox hunts at dusk. Why do you think he hunts at dusk? Do you think that's when the food he likes comes out? You think maybe they see really good at night? Could be a few reasons. All right, let's read the next page. Who went hunting too? A skunk! This spot has lots of animals. Now, throughout this entire story, did we ever leave the forest? Think about that. Did we talk about any other kind of habitat besides a forest? I don't think we did. So we learned about a whole bunch of animals that just live in a forest. And there's even more than that. So the forest has a lot of animals. That's for sure. Okay. So let's see if we can do this cool activity. That is, if you have time. All right, because I know we're doing rotating groups. If you still have time, let's see how much we can do. So we're going to go through the story and find 3 animals. All right, so let's try to find the first animal we want to write about. So let's go back to the first page. What animal could we write about here? Well, we could write about this deer, right? And we know how to spell the word deer because guess what? It's in the book. It's right here. There's that word deer. That's what it's called. So now that we know how to spell it, let's go back. All right, so on this first animal, what animal are we talking about? We're talking about a deer. Oh, that's too tiny. I need to write it bigger. There we go, deer. And this line faded away. Let me redraw it. And it's asking, what part of the forest do they live in? Well, we can just go back. Well, let's reread it. This is a forest. This spot has lots of animals. Deer live here. They eat plants. But who is in the grass? A rabbit's head pops up. So, what kind of spot in the forest would a deer live in? Are they going to live in the trees? Are they going to live underground? Do they just live on the grass? That's it. I think we just solved it. Because we know they don't live in trees like the birds and wasps. They don't live underground like ants. So they have to live on the grass, right? So that is our answer. The grass. Let's find one more animal together. And now I'll let you do the last one on your own. Alright? So let's find another animal here. You know what? Let's do the ant one. Because that'll leave you guys with the cool wasps and birds still to play with. And, I mean, don't actually play with them. That'd be crazy. And then you still got the skunk and the fox. Yeah. So let's check out the ants. Alright, and there's the word ants. A-N-T-S. We can circle it to be safe, so don't forget about it. And let's go write that word over here. A-N-T-S. Ants. Alright, now where did the ants live? Did they live in the grass too? Did they live in the trees? Do you remember where they lived? If we're not sure, we can check back in the story. Let's see, it says, ants dig under sand and grass. That's where they live. They live under sand and grass. So we can write that down. Ooh. So under. And sorry if this looks a little messy. I'm just using my mouse pad today instead of my little doodle pad. Under sand. And grass. And there we go. Now the last one I want you to do on your own. Okay, find an animal, write its name, and then write down where it lives in the forest. What spot in the forest does it live in? Because even though they're all living in the forest, they all have to live in different areas, because that's what works for them. I mean, ant can't really live above ground all day, or else they'll get attacked by bigger animals. You know, stuff like that. But if you guys want a little hint on an easy animal to do, I would say either the birds or the wasps. They're going to be your two easiest ones right there, okay? Now that's it for me, guys. You go ahead and finish that on your own. And I'm sure we're going to be rotating stations soon. So I hope you enjoyed finding out about what animals live in the forest, where they live in there, and all that cool stuff. And we're even going to go into this way more in science in just a little while. All right? So have a great day, guys, and I'll see you very soon.